Okay, guys, thanks for sticking with us until the very end. We appreciate you greatly. Jamie and I, on behalf of Julie, just wanted to reflect. We're trying to give poor Julie a break by the end of all of this on her leg. Reflect on what you guys have done over the last few years. It feels like a year, the last 2 days. I'm done. The last 2 days, and then also kind of think through what you're going to work on when you leave, what's the next thing that you're going to do by Tuesday, if there are any big takeaways that you guys have. And then please fill out your feedback forms, and then you will be done. And we're really looking forward to this action period and third learning session coming up. So do you want to go through kind of reflections from day one or summary of day one, and I'll do two? Yeah, like what we did.
Like that we did a Zoom?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not sure what exactly I'm supposed to say here. So just to recap, again, from day one, the big things that we covered, of course, were simulation was a huge part of what we were asking you to do with a patient-centered focus. So one of the big things, take home, both to take the sims back to your institution, but also to start working on incorporating that patient voice. Simulation's a great place to start that, but of course we want to carry it throughout all of our patient care activities, including things like case review. So please remember that all of those resources are going to be readily available. Please use them, adapt them, do not reinvent the wheel. And if you have, I would say that in general, please on your forms, if you have questions or ideas or needs that you've thought of in the 2 days, please write them down. We really do take your feedback incredibly seriously, and we really want to cater to what you guys are asking for. So if there was something that was mentioned or there's something that you feel like is really lacking, please let us know there, and we will do our very best to respond to that.
Oh, thank you. And then for day two, if this is your purse, by the way, we have it up here. Does this belong to anyone?
They'll be back for
Uh-oh. For day two, we did kind of brief, you found it? Yay! We did brief recap from what you guys have asked about lingering questions, and then we did the data session in the morning. Thank you for all that feedback. Remember where all the data tools are that we talked about in the data resource folder, and we look forward to kind of bringing more things to you based on your feedback. And then we did the case review, cognitive biases and case review simulation, the social determinants of health simulation, and the community partners speed dating. So the community partner speed dating actually came from Cohort 4 asking for it. Last time we were there for Learning Session 1, they said, can you bring these folks to us? And so that's what we did in this session. So as a reminder, if there's something that will help you like that, especially if you give us enough lead time, we will try to bring it to help you all. A lot of folks have asked, can you use those tools in your hospital? Absolutely. We'll work on kind of packaging them to make them more specific to your hospital and your resources, and then send it out and you guys can adapt it. But all of this stuff is just created to help all of us together so you can use any of it. So hopefully a few things kind of change the way you might think of things, or ways you can bring it back to your teams in a different way. So thank you for your robust participation today. Anybody want to share any aha moments or things that you're really excited to go back and work on? Oh, sorry. Who will share? Thanks, Julie. Oh, right here. Thank you.
Being the educator on our unit, I'm really excited about taking more simulation opportunities back, and especially with the structure that we have available to us in our debriefs. I've recently been doing them, but now I'm realizing there's a better way to do them instead of recreating the wheel, which is what I've been doing. So it's really nice to see that there's structure to it and other resources available. So it's nice.
Oh, One right here.
I'm really loud. I don't know. You don't have to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just think that sim today, the social determinants of health sim, was awesome, and it did so much to open awareness and awareness of what other team members are doing in the hospital. So thank you for that. Oh, I don't need that.
Anything? Oh, one more there, Mindy.
So one thing that we're trying to fine tune and work on is getting blood pressure cuffs for our patients. And the majority, not the majority, but a large part of our patients are CHIP perinatal. And in fact, the clinic that we serve, those patients are CHIP perinatal. So learning that blood pressure cuffs are not, or are DMEs that are not covered by CHIP perinatal, I just want to ask everybody and you guys, how are you able to get blood pressure cuffs? If you're providing that, how are you able to get blood pressure cuffs to your patients that have CHIP perinatal?
Anybody want to share how you're getting blood pressure cuffs to folks who, I'm going to add, do not have insurance or have CHIP perinate that doesn't cover DME? Your hospital buys them. How did you guys make the argument to your hospital to buy them? You use TexasAIM. Yay!
Yep. And it's something that we keep a small stock of. It goes through the social worker to make sure that we're, using them appropriately. But the hospital has decided that they would purchase those for the patients that needed them.
Nice. Congrats.
Yes.
I've heard some folks use their readmissions as a financial reason to invest in blood pressure cuffs or other things to prevent readmissions, and those often are very expensive. Brooke?
I'll try to use my voice that usually never makes it across the room, but we had some generous community partners. Thank you. I say they know. You're lucky if you hear me here, usually. So usually we had a very generous community partner that made a donation, so we were able to, through kind of a grant-like situation, have blood pressure cuffs provided. So asking in the community, sometimes you have folks that are looking for good deeds to do, so trying to get your folks looking for that kind of a thing can sometimes be an additional way to do it.
Anybody else?
I just came from the last few minutes of the community roundtables going on, and I'm literally like drying my eyes because the nurse family partnership table in there. Did any of you go through that table, and did she tell you her story of the patient who literally saved her own life with a blood pressure cuff? It was so heartwarming. This is somebody who was 18 years old, had no prenatal care, had never shown up, literally was given a blood pressure cuff through a grant that Nurse Family Partnership had gotten, and took her blood pressure, and they were using our educational materials, which color code the different blood pressure levels, and it's super simple to interpret and understand, and she took herself to the ER and saved her life because she got admitted. And stories like that are just like, this is why we need to be doing this. I will say this, I know that the Cuff Kit program that we run has a fee associated with it because we're not Bill Gates, but we do keep a wish list, because what Brooke was saying is there are organizations that end up wanting to fund programs like this. If you can find your own, that's great. If you can't, at least let us know that you're interested, because sometimes we are made of, like, different funders come to us saying we want to help who is in need, and we like to find pockets around the country that have high need. So get on our wish list.
I'm a huge opportunist when it comes to blood pressure cuffs. I am constantly listening to what people have. So in COVID, we immediately said, hey, can we use COVID funding to fund blood pressure cuffs? Hospital said, yep, no problem. That covered us for that time period of the public health emergency and the additional funding. Then we applied for a grant with a home visit program that at the time was called Family Connects, and then UpReach, and funded all the blood pressure cuffs that way. We begged March of Dimes, they just gave us $850, and then I just applied for another grant through my hospital to keep them going. So we kind of piece it together, but I'm constantly on the lookout for where can I get this from, because 85% of my patients are covered by CHIP perinate, so it's a really big deal. So I think it's where you do have to get creative, but many health departments might have something set up. I know I'm in Houston, so sorry that's not directly applicable to you guys, but they have a lot of blood pressure cuff programs or family visit programs that will partner with handing out blood pressure cuffs. And then just something to be on the lookout for, that was one of, I'm trying to not say the wrong thing, in our last legislative session, that is a proposal for a new coverage including remote blood pressure monitoring. So I am watching that super carefully to see what happens, and hopefully that will mean more expanded coverage for us for things like that. We'll see. I don't know. Julie just gave me a look. But I think hopefully, and there's things like, some of the other things within that are like the community health workers and things like that, that once we actually see the implementation plan, being ready to kind of jump on all of those. So it's definitely a gap.
While you're thinking, is anyone missing glasses or a cup?
Uh-huh.
These nice glasses, nobody? Anyone else willing to share? Or due by next Tuesday?
Yeah, we tried to be so dense with material this time that we didn't get to walk through, and I definitely feel the lack of having heard what everybody is doing. So kudos to all of you guys. I agree.
Hi. So one of our big projects right now is, learning how to work with our social workers and case management in our hospital, and on our postpartum as well as NICU and then the triage OB/ED patients as well. In the simulation that we had, there was a great assessment that, kind of set the expectation for the information that you would get that also the social worker would need or the case manager would need. Are we going to have access to that so that I can use that to leverage?
Are you talking about the social determinants of health screening tool?
Yes, but it seemed like it was not just.
We will make all those materials available, but that screening tool was the Accountable Healthcare Communities screening tool for social determinants of health from CMS, and it's probably built into most of your electronic medical records, but it's already a validated screening tool. We'll post all of that so you guys have access to everything, because we'd like to package it so that if you wanted to take it back, you could do something like that. Oh, you mean the TCHMB reference guide for insurance coverage?
Yes.
Okay. So TCHMB is our state perinatal quality collaborative. That is on our website under resources and tools, and it's the insurance guide. I actually realized when we made it, we didn't include DME, and we're going to need to go back and adapt it after we did the SIM, but that is available for everybody. And yes, you also will have access to that, but it is right now public facing for everybody on the TCHMB website.
Anyone else?
So one of the things we just encourage is to think about when you go back, what are you going to do by next Tuesday? And that does not mean create an entire protocol, educate, and roll it out. That means what's something that's teeny and bite-sized that you can work on and test and then slowly grow. So think through what you can do by next Tuesday so that you'll kind of leave in action. Fill out your evaluations so that we know what to bring you, what feedback you have from this session, what to bring you in the next action period call, and if there's anything that you're really proud of that you want to share, or any other tips and tricks. Okay, and you're done. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.